Hey, Shalom, Akim, Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, by Shimi, Yahweh Shai, by Shimmer Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in this gospel, bro, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, by Shimi, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Real quick, this is an article from CBS News and public service announcement. I'm uploading to GMS, KC Living Waters again. But Lord's will, I put the link of the description in my other channel, as this channel has been shut down for like 3 weeks. See, what happened was I got one strike, and usually they give you a week hiatus. But see, this is where Esau gets slick at. What he does, usually back in the day, if you have a strike and you log into your page, it'll tell you to review it if you want to appeal it. But lately, he hasn't been giving us that option. So therefore, your page shuts down. And you think that within a week, it automatically loads itself up, but you have to acknowledge the strike or try to appeal it before the algorithm counts down to restore your services. And this is how they get you. Okay, they don't send us the prompts anymore. So I've been uploading to GMS 6 and GMS KC Priest 2, which I will upload. I will put a link in the description in that channel, GMS KC Priest 2. So those of you that subscribed on this page, in case we get another strike, you can watch it on GMS KC Priest 2. All right, but it says utilities are cutting off powers to Americans amid rising energy costs. Okay, now this whole energy crisis we've been in, okay, since the so-called invasion of Ukraine, they made an excuse to say, well, since Russia invaded Ukraine, therefore we have to raise your energy. What the fuck that got to do with you over here? All right, see, they throw these particular scenarios at you Americans or you Babylonians, and you just drink them down because you listen to the news, you're totally distorted mentally on the reality around you. So therefore you listen to these talking heads. All right. Not saying that the invasion don't have a slight bit to do with it, because you understand what happened between pipeline Nord 1 and Nord 2 in Germany, which they basically cut off the supply to Germany's power infrastructure, so to speak, the energy, so to speak. Now, the Germans were looking at the Russians, and the Russians were looking at Germany as if they sabotaged their own pipeline. But if you notice, Babylon the Great, they've been behind a lot of these particular sabotages that's been happening throughout their conglomerates. Like you had that earthquake that hit Syria in Turkey Monday. Okay, and then you had after effects that was just as devastating as the earthquake itself. And you got news coming out, or alternative news, that's speaking on the thing, stating that there was a so-called weapon, or that was what do you call that? HAARP. I'll say it that way. Even before the earthquake happened itself, people saw signs of weather changing that was unusual. Okay, animals acting weird, birds are, are literally just losing their minds because of something that was coming, and find out that they send these sonar waves to the ground, and it's like a frequency they send through the ground, and it disrupts everything, and it pretty much drops everything. It's like imagine if somebody put a loud bass speaker underneath your house with a particular frequency that's able to kind of, how can I say it? Basically, they're using frequencies, man, to disrupt the tectonic plates on the earth. So therefore, these earthquakes are coming about, and everybody believes that America has something to do with it, or the West. Okay, because I think a week ago, Turkey turned down NATO's offer, believed to be part of some type of conglomerate, something that I was reading. Can't really put my finger on it at the moment, Slovakia, but it was some foul play in that. And hey, you see why their allies are going to shoot missiles on this place. Then you're going to have the infighting over here in the West, because people are going without, their goods, their resources. More people are lining up to go to these food pantries, which is running low on supply. You got dumpster diving at an all-time high, and on top of that, you're raising people's utility bills. People are not going to be happy with you, man. Okay, so it says a growing number of Americans are getting their power shut off, and I know for a fact the energy prices are going up, because my heat bill, when we had that little cold spell last month, my shit was pretty high, man. Out of those 4 days, we stayed in a house, and I ran the temperature to about 73, 74 degrees. And my bill was like 120 something bucks, man. Because what I do is I have them to take it out automatically. So therefore, I I don't fall behind, because in the past my energy bills would be so cheap to the point I will forget to pay them. And then 6 months later, that should be like $400-500. I'm like, oh shit, let me go ahead and put it on auto pay. Because when you got a 15, 20, $30 bill, you're like, all right, I'll pay it, and then you forget about it because you got other stuff. So I opted in to take it out. But when it started getting higher, I'm like, nah, fuck that. Y'all not finna be breaking my account on something that you're marking up. So people are starting to feel the squeeze. Okay, and we in them times, man. The new world order, out with the old, in with the new. Yeah, it's getting ready to get real out here, brothers. So, hey, it's coming to the time that we're going to have to really detach and really put our faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. All right? Shalaki, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Shalaki. Yep, Shalaki, man. Fucking get that shit on my chest. That's another thing too, man. The chemicals in the air. Esau is really, he's really poisoning us, man. But regardless of that, it says, as rising costs of living force consumers to choose between keeping the lights on and paying for food, rent, or transportation, which is all necessities, because the scriptures goes into the basic things men need for his life: food of the vine, wheat, wine, which is the fruit of the vine, okay, bread, oil, etc. Those are the basic necessities that you need. So you need power, okay? You need power, you need food. Rent is getting ready to go up again, okay? Especially with all this bending or building that they're doing in the country. But yet they got to cut the costs of these materials, and they have to build on particular infrastructure, which is going to cause the consumer to have to pay even more money. Okay, like right now, a lot of homes that they're building up, they're selling them off to like particular investors in these particular brokerage companies, and they're selling them, or they're renting them out, because people can't afford to buy houses anymore. Okay, so what people are doing, that these brokerage companies, they're basically selling houses, or they're putting them on the market for rent. That way they can get some type of money. But the average person, they can't afford a house because shit is too damn expensive. And Esau knows that, but hey, this is the squeeze. Cotton Swab said, hey, you will own nothing and you will be happy about it. And here we go. It says last year, utilities cut off power to an estimate of 4.2 million households, according to the report released this week from the Center for Biological Diversity and the Energy and Policy Institute in Bell Watch. It says the estimate is conservative because only some states reveal information about utility cutoffs, but the author used the cutoff rate from those states to estimate a nationwide figure, which some states tracked electricity shutoffs nearly increased 30% from 2021 to 2022, while gas cutoffs rose 76%. And that's what I was saying. The gas is completely just outrageous, man. Okay, natural gas is to the point that converging over, it's getting ready to be a shit show. And luckily, it wasn't a very cold winter, and we're pretty much at the end of it, because from this point, if you don't get any type of cold weather in February, then you pretty much scot-free. But see, you gotta, Esau's the devil too, man. You fuck around and get frigid temperatures in March and April and May, and that's happened before. I remember 2 years ago, back in May, I went back home to Chicago, man. It was literally 60 degrees outside at the end of May, so it was very possible. But it says the rising number of cutoffs are a confluence of two factors: high energy costs, partly because of Russia's invasion of Ukraine, right, nearly a year ago, as well as the end of the you-know-what era protections that bar utilities from shutting off service for non-payment. But the cost of electricity has risen 21% since 2021, while the cost of gas has shot up nearly 50% at that time, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which shows you this is wicked, because I remember when that happened, when everything shut down, people was calling to get these pledges put on their account, and they was extending the dates. Now, even though they wouldn't shut your utilities off, you still had to pay it. And if you didn't pay it, eventually they will shut you off, and you will you'll have this big ass bill at the end of the month on top of the late fees and interest they charge, which is wickedness, man. Okay, because that's usury. You would think that these companies, which is ran illegally anyway, because technically you're not supposed to even be on the grid, you're supposed to be self-sufficient. But you would think that these companies that generate billions of dollars off ripping off their customers will say, you know what, give you a pledge, I forgive you notes, whatever, be done with it. Because the electric companies, they're not losing any money because they're being bailed out by the governments. You see? But this shows you how much of a wicked demon that Esau is, because he defrauds the people of their living. Okay? And this is going to cause rioting. People are going to vote against this place. And people just going to start saying, fuck it. And they're going to go and get what they need. Because people, they're feeling the squeeze. Okay? They're feeling the squeeze. And once they continue to close in on you people, that's when you people are going to realize, like, oh, man, we've been planned. We've been played. Okay? Because Esau, man, he's the devil. Okay, he doesn't care about his own people living. And most of the people that's affected by this outside of Jake are Edomites. Lower level working class Edomites, man. You know? But it says, rejoice therefore, O heavens, in who live, and it says, in you who live in the heavens. It says, rejoice, but terror should come on the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you having great anger. Okay, and this is the New Living Translation. It says, great wrath, because he know he has a little time. So they're in crunch mode to get this new world order up and running. So they're getting ready to push this RFID chip, man, which a lot of you Israelites, you're stumbling over. You know, you got this guy, Adam Abbott or Naquam. That guy, he's a demon, man. Okay, he's basically making 5-hour lessons on trying to slander us because he's caught up because he can't break down Revelation 13, 16 to 18. So now he got to go to slanderous tactics, just like a female, man. Okay, but regardless of that, when this time comes, then what are you Jakes are going to do? Because it's going to come to a point that you're only going to have a limited supply of food. Okay, Gates is invested in these artificial chicken farms or artificial chicken eggs. Now all of a sudden you got a overly inflated price of chicken and eggs, you see, and the list goes on. So how much more in the coming months or so when things begin to spiral out of control? Rent's going up again, you know. I mean, literally people 200, 300, 400 square feet paying $1,500 a month for an apartment. Yeah, right. So homelessness, the homeless population is gonna go up. More people are gonna start living at home with their parents. You know, more people are gonna start adopting to nefarious practices. Okay. Going back to the article here, it says access to electricity is a basic human right, and people rely on electricity for water, physical safety, food security, Medicare, and telecommunications, the report said. But without power, people struggle to maintain employment and to keep their kids in school and even stay alive, right? Because like I said, they're going to force you into a system that's going to allow that they want to force you into this new system. Okay, they basically is going to ostracize anybody that's going to come against it. Either you bow down to this NWO or we just going to starve you out. And when it gets too bad, we're just going to take you out. Okay, this is who we're dealing with. It says today, 1 in 6 U.S. families are in arrears on utility bills. It says according to the National Energy Assistance Directors, it says families are drowning in utility debt, noting that the demand for help with heating bills is currently at its highest level since 2009. And remember, that was right after the real estate market had collapsed. So looking like the same trend. All right. So let's go here. The book of Sirach 4:1, it says, my son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. It says, make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. And that's what Esau is doing. Okay, people are distressed. They spent all their money for this Christmas holiday season. Now they got to rob Peter to pay Paul, vice versa, take out more lines of credit. Because mostly everybody, they're operating on credit cards. They don't have really tangible or feasible cash or assets on hand. So therefore, they're running up the credit cards and then they're getting other credit cards until they can't do it anymore, which is causing the debt to quadruple. Same thing America do. They run up the bills, they run up the debt, and then they ask for an extended line or a mercy period to put more debt. And that's just what the American people do, okay, because they're in a consuming mindset. But it says, add not more to a heart that is vexed, and defer not to give him that is in need. Okay, reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from the poor man, and turn not thy eye from the needy, and need him, and give him none occasion to curse thee. For if he curse thee in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer should be heard of him that made him. Okay, and that's the point. Esau is defrauding the people of their living because let me find it here. Wheat, honey, vine. Let me try to find that precept. Yep. Sirach 39 and yep, Sirach. I think it's another one too, but this is the book of Sirach 39 and 26. It says the principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, okay, fire, you got your electricity, iron, salt, flour, and wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape, and oil and clothing. These are the necessities of what you need to live. Okay, blood of the grape, your wine, you got your oil, okay, your essential oils, your frankincense and so forth. You got your milk, you got your honey, okay, which honey can be the truth as well. Okay, it says your wheat, flour of wheat, your breads and so forth, salt, fire, water, the most important things. But according to this article, Esau is cutting people off. Okay, it says consumer protection ends. The Center for Biological Diversity report blames another factor for large members of utility cutoffs. It says corporate greed, which is capitalism. It says at the same time that utilities shut off power to millions of households, they spend billions of dollars on dividends for their shareholders. It says it would have taken only 1% of the amount spent on the shareholder dividends to prevent these shutoffs. He said people have to sacrifice essential life-sustaining services to pay for those bills while utility executives and shareholders continue to line their pockets. Yeah, they're stealing from the people, man. Okay? They're basically stealing from people. You people going to continue to give your money to these Edomites, to these corporations. You'll find out sooner than later when they starve you out. But I'm going to end it there, giving out praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And with that, Shalom and a Baba.